Akash, I think we all saw your password. You should change it.
Okay, sir, that I'll do that. So can I start, sir?
Yes, Akash, you may. Yeah.
So for the unheard voice, I would like to talk about the Tamil Dalit feminist, a teacher, a novelist, Bama Faustina Susiraj. Bama was born in the year 1958 as Faustina Mary Fatima Rani in a Roman Catholic family. She is the first sister of famous Dalit writer Raj Gautami. Bama's ancestors were from Dalit community and worked as agriculture laborers. She enjoyed reading Khalil Gibran and Rabindranath Tagore. She became a school teacher for economically poor girls, following which she served as a nun for 7 years. She chose to take the holy orders to escape the caste-based discriminations and also further to improve her missions in helping the advancement of the poor Dalit girls. After joining the nunnery, Bama found out that there was a separate training center for Dalit Catholics. Angered by the poor condition of the Dalit Catholic training center, she left the nunnery after 7 years. She finished her studies and joined as a teacher at a Catholic Christian school, where she found out that the Catholic nuns oppressed the Dalit children and teachers. This was when she began writing. With the encouragement of a friend, she wrote on her childhood experiences. These experiences formed the basis for her first novel, Karku, published in the year 1992. Bama wrote the novel in the dialect of Tamil that is unique to her community. She said she faced heavy criticisms regarding the choice of a language from the members of the upper caste, obviously. That's when she decided to use the same dialect in all the novels subsequently. This is something that inspired me a lot. The rebellious attitude towards them. When I say members of the upper caste, it is not one or two, it is pretty much many people. So to stand against them, you need courage. So that inspired me a lot. When the novel was published, Bama was excluded and rejected from a village for portraying it in poor light, and she was not allowed to enter the village for 7 months. Karuke was, however, critically acclaimed and won the Crossword Book Award in 2000. Among all those criticisms, it has since become a textbook in various courses like literature and translation, feminist literature, Dalit literature, etc., across many courses. Bama recently published an essay in Single by Choice, Happily Unmarried, a collection of 13 essays by unmarried women in India, talking about their singlehood. She did grow up with dreams of marrying a man and having, a girl child, but she gradually chose being single woman because, according to her, the institution and structure of marriage and family as they exist today are not women friendly at all. This is according to her. However, her life choices has been without its own set of challenges. She talks about how she has, had an experience of insults and suspicions for choosing to be single. Bama's novel primarily focuses on caste and gender discriminations. This is particularly practiced in, Christianity and Hinduism. In an interview, Bama had said that she writes because she considers her duty and responsibility to share their experiences, of people. In addition, she also finds the act of writing to be cathartic. Cathartic is something, psychological relief and liberating. For her, writing itself is a political act and a weapon that she uses to continuously fight against the dehumanizing caste practices. These are some of the books, some of her works. Karukkai in 1992, Sangati in 1994, Kusumbakaran, Vanmam, Oru Tatavum Erumai, Kondatam. Even the title of the books seems really simple and raw, which is one of the good factors about her. To conclude, I would like to quote few lines from a novel, Karukku. We who are asleep must open our eyes and look about us. We must not accept the injustice of our enslavement by telling ourselves it is our fate, as if we have no true feelings. We must dare to stand up for change. We must crush all these institutions that use caste to bully us into submission and demonstrate that among human beings there is none who are high or low. Those who have found their happiness by exploiting us are not going to go easily. It is we who have to place them where they belong and bring about a changed and just society where we all are equal. And one more thing, there's this movie which is based on a true story. The name of the movie is JB. Most of you would have known it. If you haven't watched it, I would suggest you to watch it because watch it to understand the cruelty and agony faced by a part of the Dalit community. So it's a very interesting movie.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Akash, for such a wonderful description of Obama Faustina Susiraj's Karku, 1992, and a dialect which is unique to her community, and why she talks and celebrates being single because she doesn't believe in the institutional structure of marriage. And the reason is it is not friendly for women. That's a very insightful point, right? And she talks about caste and gender discrimination. Good, very insightful. Thank you, Akash. Now, um,
Thank you, sir.
yes. Now we'll move on to the next person. Jesse Raj is there. Yes, Jesse Raj, you
Yes,
may
sir.
proceed. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Susan, Sunanta, Shruti. Right. In the order, if you miss your chance, then I'll have to forego your. Uh, yes,
Sir, I'm
Sunanta is
ready.
ready. Yes,
Can I present?
after Jesse
Yes,
Raj,
sir.
you may present, right? Sunanta. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yes,
Sir, is my
Jesse
screen
Raj, it's
visible, sir?
visible. Yes.
Yes. So the writer I've chosen to celebrate in this class is A. Revati, and the book that I will be talking about is the truth about me. And this is something about A. Revati. She is an independent activist, theater person, actor, and writer. She works for the rights of sexual minorities, and her first work, Unarvam Uruvamam, was published in 2004. It is one of the first books to be written by a transgender person in Tamil. And The Truth About Me, which is subtitled Hijra Life Story, she published in 2010. This is her autobiography, and it was translated by V. Geeta. And the same book was published in Tamil a year later in 2011, titled as Vellai Moli. And another book she published in 2006, A Life in Trans Activism. And the book, The Truth About Me, is the first of its kind in English from the member of the Hijra community. And what the Hijra community is, they are biological males who reject their masculine identity and identify either as women or not men, or in between man or woman, or neither man nor woman. And in the preface to the book, she clearly mentions the intention. And I'll read it out. As a Hijra, I get pushed to the fringes of society. Yet I have dared to share my innermost life with you about being a Hijra and about doing sex work. My story is not meant to offend, accuse, or hurt anyone's sentiments. My aim is to introduce to the readers the lives of Hijras, their distinct culture, and their dreams and desires. I hope now that by publishing my story, larger changes can be achieved. I hope this book of mine will make people see that Hijras are capable of more than just begging and sex work. I do not seek sympathy from the society or the government. I seek to show that we Hijras do have the right to live in the society. So the preface clearly mentions that she wants the rights that the sexual minority deserves. And about the book, The Truth About Me. And in it, this is her autobiography, and she explains that she mentioned that she was born as a boy and named Doraisamy in Namakkal, and she always had the feeling of being trapped in a male body, that is a girl trapped in a male body. And in her school days, she met a group of people from the Koti community, that is a sexual minority community in Tamil Nadu, and she felt good around them. Like she felt that she belonged with them, and she decided to leave home and she went to Mumbai because that's where she heard that she'll be accepted. She was not accepted at home for what she was, and so she went there, and she underwent the sex change operations that uh, the Hijras undergo, and she was rechristened as Revati in Mumbai. And later she wanted to go home back to Tamil Nadu, but she went and she was not accepted. So she left to Bangalore, and she worked in an NGO, for, which works for the right of sexual minorities. And a few excerpts from the book I've taken to explain what the feeling of the book is, and I'll read it out. As soon as I got home from school, I would wear my sister's long skirt and blouse, twist a long towel around my head, and let it trail down my back like a braid. I would then walk as if I was a shy bride, my eyes to the ground, and everyone would laugh. No one thought much of it then, for I was little. This was during her childhood. She felt like a girl and she was acting like a girl, but nobody was taking it serious, as they thought the child is just playing around. And this is an important excerpt in which she talks about the dignity. I'll read it. We got stared at a lot, and I heard people ask rather loudly whether we were men or women or number nines or Devadasis. Some men made bold attempts to touch us on our waist or our shoulders. Some others pointed to our breasts and asked, original or duplicate. God has made us this way, I thought. We have no work of our own. Our parents do not understand us with this taste. Yet we too go hungry. Above all, we wanted to live as human beings do, with dignity. And she is very particular in using the word dignity here because she could have used respect, but respect is something that is earned, and dignity is something that every human being deserves if they are living. Like it doesn't have to be earned. So she's very particular about this dignity that the sexual minorities, people belonging to sexual minorities, deserve. And a woman trapped in a man's body was how I thought of myself. But how could that be? Would the world accept me thus? I longed to be known as a woman and felt ashamed by this feeling. I wondered why God has chosen to inflict this peculiar torture on me, and why He could not have created me wholly male or wholly female. So this was her feeling, like she was questioning God about creating her in between male and female. And in her book, A Life in Trans Activism, which she published in 2006, she again mentions about the dignity or the respect that the sexual minority deserve. I do not purchase these emotions, nor did I borrow them. I was made thus by nature. Respect that. Recognize me as a woman and give me all the rights due to a woman. This plea for equality and human rights for transgender people has been the pivotal point of my transgender activism. So this is an excerpt from A Life in Trans Activism, which she published in 2006. And a conclusion to conclude, the prose, the writing in this book is not artistic, and it is very direct and heartfelt and very honest. And it is a narrative of the life of someone who lives in the margins, that mostly we are uneducated about, and sometimes we are actively hostile towards. And she tries to break the cyclic process of heteronormative discourse. And gender dysphoria is the main theme, that is the discomfort when the gender one identifies as conflicts with the sex assigned at birth. And there is also body versus soul dichotomy, where body is said to be that of a man and soul is said to be that of a woman. So this is what I wanted to
Thank
present.
you,
Thank you, sir.
Jesse Raj. Um, there is a point here that Akash is trying to make. A message, sir, the writer Revati that Jesse spoke about once visited a college and gave an amazing speech about her life. Good. Thank you, Akash, for that information. Yes, appreciate Jesse Raj for this presentation. I get pushed to the fringes of society. I do not seek sympathy from the society or government. And the concept of being trapped, in literature is a very interesting and engaging genre also. Being trapped or being confined. It could be like the tame bird in a cage or Paul Lawrence Dunbar's sympathy when the bird in the cage being trapped and you want to come out of your cage. So, and how she challenges the heteronormative discourse. She resists this heteronormative discourse. Thank you, Jesse Raj. Um, we'll now move on to the next person. Yes, you may, Sunanta. Yes, yeah.
1 minute. Sir, is my
Yes,
screen
Sunanta,
visible?
it is.
Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. The writer I'm going to talk about is Rhonda Byrne. She is an Australian television writer and producer, and she might be a very well-known figure in Australia, but I don't know how good she is known in India, and that's one of the reasons I chose her. But the major motive is to speak about her book, The Secret. And Rhonda, she had initially lost her father in 2004. She had also many issues in her family, relationships, and business as well. And that made her depressed, completely depressed. And going by the advice of one of her daughters, her name is Haley. And so she read this book named The Science of Getting Rich, which was written by Wallace D. Wattles in 1910. Uh, she says that she got highly inspired by this book and it has changed her entire life. Coming to The Secret, it is a self-help book written by Rhonda and was published in November 2006. And it was based on the documentary of the same name, which was released little earlier in March 2006. And this book revolves around the idea of law of attraction. It says that it's the secret of manifestation that awards people with a lot of positive or negative experiences in life. Thoughts not only influence your actions, it also influences the overall experiences you undergo in life. And generally, most of us ponder over negative thoughts, fearful thoughts, and end up attracting the same unintentionally without realizing. And according to Rhonda, uh, this is exactly why we suffer a lot with a lot of unpleasant happenings around us. In simple words, she means to say that thoughts become things, and the more positive you think, the more positivity enters your life. So it's all about practicing gratitude and visualizing our goals in our mind to bring them into reality. And we should learn to self-love and grow positivity in our lives. And all the ideas present in this book are not completely hers. She has reintroduced the ideas originally popularized by Madame Blavatsky, a Russian author, and Norman Vincent Peale. He is an American minister who wrote The Power of Positive Thinking in 1952. And when I read this book in 2018, and I really felt very pleasant to have come across this book. And reading it was a really good experience. And I'd like to recommend it to everyone who wish to see a positive change in their lives, irrespective of the age. And it's not only going to please our aesthetic sense, it will surely be a life changer and an eye opener for many. So it's a treasure in itself. You can also watch the documentary of this movie. And in the year 2020, the Hollywood movie adaptation of this book has come. It's named The Secret, Dare to Dream, which was directed by Andy Tennant. And yeah, these are two of the famous quotes from the book. The great secret of life is the law of attraction. The law of attraction can also be called the law of creation. In other words, life is not happening to you, you are creating it. The other one is there is no such thing as a hopeless situation. Every single circumstances of your life can change. So there are many sequels she published to The Secret, namely The Power in 2009, The Magic in 2010, Hero in 2013, How The Secret Changed My Life in 2016, And the latest book is The Greatest Secret, which was released in 2020. And all these books are highly appreciated among the readers. And if you have time, please read these books. They are sure to help us during these uncertain times. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sunanda, for introducing a wonderful writer to us. Rhonda Byrne, The Secret Self-Help Book, Thoughts Become Things, and how she oozes with positivity. And even in such utmost hopeless situation, you find hope, right? Oozing with the positivity. Thank you for Rhonda Byrne. And we'll move on to the next person. Yes, we'll move on to the next person who's ready now.
Shall
Yes,
I, sir?
yes, Susan, yes.
So the author that I'm going to speak about is SAMYUKTHA PRASANAN. She was my classmate in school, and it is very nice to see her going and publishing books. So she is a poet since the age of 8, and she's an engineering graduate. She's the same age as all of us. And the first book that she published is 8 Days to December, which is a poetry book. And the second poem book that she published is Winter Marmalade. So I really wanted to read out the poem to you guys, but since this video is going out on YouTube, I don't want to, because the poems are still not available on the internet as such. You have to get the book from Amazon to read it. But I thought that I'll speak about her poems instead. So the first thing that struck me is that the emotions that are conveyed through the poem is very relatable, because one, she is of our age. So what we are going through, she is at the same stage and going through similar instances in her life. She is in going through the same age as we are. So the emotions that are conveyed is very relatable. Also, the language that is used is simple, but at the same time it is very nice, and it is nice to like read through the poem. The words that she used is very nice, and it is like you don't have to like stop everywhere to like find the meaning. It is very simple, clear, and precise. And also she's coming up with a novel. So this is her debut novel with which she's coming up with. It is called Count My Lucky Stars. It will be published, I mean, it will be available on online platforms from December 20 of this year. So it is going to come out. And another thing that I liked about her is that she shares the knowledge that she has gained through her journey with others. So the link that I posted in the chat box is the link to her Instagram account, and she makes reels about how you can do when you have a writer's block, or about how you can pin up a storyboard before you go on to write your novel. So she shares her story with us, with upcoming writers, so that they could be benefited with it. So this is what I liked about her, and I'm really excited for the novel that is coming up. A few words about the novel that she shared on her Instagram account is that the characters in her novel the focus will be more on what they go through and the emotions, rather than like for say their gender or their name or their looks or their physical appearance. So she says there will be no description of physical appearances of the characters that will be starring in her novel, and the focus will be more on inner feelings and emotions. So this is the author that I wanted to speak about.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan Grace,
Yes,
for
sir.
introducing a wonderful writer and a poet, Samyukta Prasanan. And good, very good.
Yes, sir.
And I'm so happy that she doesn't focus on physical appearances. Rather, she focuses on inner feelings of her characters. That's a very good, positive step in the right direction, because sometimes, you might fumble, and sometimes there are stereotypes that might influence us in our descriptions of characters, uh, their physical features, etc. Good, very good. So happy for her.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Now we'll move on to the next person. Shruti is there. Shruti, After that, the next order would be Joshua, Shankrotan, Kadiravan, Rudolph, Samuel, Arulash. This is the order, right, that I've given long back to your class representative. I'd also like to appreciate and congratulate your uh, class representative, the previous class representative. I think you got a new class representative now, Kadiravan. Congratulations to Kadiravan on taking up this post, a very responsible post, and I'm so happy for the previous class representative. We had Ms. Bhuvaneshwari. She did a very amazing job, right, as class representative. On behalf of everyone in our class, I appreciate and congratulate her. She's got very good leadership skills, and the way she connected with her teachers and amazing. Bhuvaneshwari, appreciation and congratulations to you. I wish you the very best in life. And now Kadiravan has taken up. Congrats again to Kadiravan. Then now we have the next set of 6. If Shruti has left out, then we have the next set of 6. Joshua. Then Harini said she'll talk today. Harini is ready. If Harini is ready, she can talk today. If the others, anyone else is also ready, be ready, right? So that in your turn also you can be ready for your presentation. Yes, Joshua, are you ready?
Sir?
Yes, Joshua will be the class
Yes,
presenter for the day. And after that,
yes.
the order would be, see, Harini, I've given you a chance. You aren't here, right? Although I gave you a special privilege, right? Although you skipped your turn and I gave you a privilege of presenting, you asked me permission, but still, right, you haven't turned up today. If I don't have the time, you should not, I go by order. And so today, Joshua will be presenting. After that, we have Shruti has not even bothered to tell us that, the others, whoever has missed out, you should tell us, right? We have that courtesy to tell your teacher, sir, I won't be presenting, right? Right. Then the next 4 would be Joshua Shankrotan, then Kadiravan, Rudolph, and Samuel Arul Ashik, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, can you see my screen, sir?
Yeah.
So, yes. So, good afternoon to everyone. So, in Unheard Melodies, I'm going to talk about Paul Copan, who is a foreign author, lives in America, and yeah. So he is Paul Copan, and he's a Christian theologian and analytic philosopher, and also an apologist. So apologist meaning defending the truth of Christian faith. So his notable books like the first book is True for You but Not for Me. The title itself is this, and the second book is That's Just Your Interpretation. So this two book deals, it's like a critique on modern age philosophies. Like Paul Koopman criticizes the many self-contradictory statements of modern age. Like, for example, like there are many self-contradictory statements. I just picked three important one. These are self-contradictory statements because the postmodern, especially postmodern age, so they hold many beliefs that are self-contradictory statements, but there is also irrational and self-contradictory statements. So let's look one another. First is don't impose your belief on me. So like what is this? There's a problem inside the statement, because the person who's saying that don't impose your belief on me, they are the person who's saying that they are imposing the belief that one should not impose the belief on others. So that is also one belief. They are imposing that belief that one should not impose their belief on others to me. So they are also imposing their belief on me. So don't impose your belief on me is a self-contradictory statement. Like don't impose your morality on me, that's also included. Like don't impose your morality on me, because there is there's no objective morality like such. And the second thing is, who are you to judge me, or who are you to judge others? Like, there this there's also a problem in this statement, because this is also a self-contradictory statement, because they're judging me, the person who's saying that don't judge others, they are judging me for judging, because there is also a judgment. If you just observe it carefully, who are you to judge me, or who are you to judge others? They are also judging me for judging others. So that is self-contradictory statements. So that, like, the universal rule, like, practice what you preach, is just diminishes away in this statement. So who are you to judge me and others? Like, the person who is saying they are also judging me for judging. Like, the third statement is, there are no objective truths. Like, if you turn the table on that and say that, is that an objective truth? The statement that there are no objective truths is an objective truth. If that statement, there are no objective truths, is an objective truth, then why, if the statement that there are no objective truths is not an objective truth, then why I have to accept that there is no objective truth? Okay, so it will be confused, but if you observe carefully, then you can find out the self-contradictory elements in these three statements. First is, don't impose your belief on me. They are imposing belief that one should not impose their belief on others. Then where is that universal rule come from, that one should not one should not impose their belief on others? Where is the universal rule come from? That is the question Paul Copan asked the relativist. And who are you to judge me? So with the judging, in the sense, the definition of judgmental, we have to understand what is the difference between judging and judgmental. Like, if judging means saying another person is wrong, then the relativist, meaning that the person who says that you should not judge others, they are also judging. Because many contemporaries, nowadays, the meaning of judging is saying another person is wrong. But that is the definition of the judgment word. They are also, the relativist also judging me for judging. So that is self-contradictory. And the difference between judging and judgmental is, judgmental involves lots of pride and hypocrisy, but judging involves, because if really love someone, you cannot just sit and quietly sit and just say, okay, whatever you do, just I just going to leave you on that. I'm going to question anything on. So that is not a real love means. If you really love that person, then you have to say that they are wrong, so that they can avoid the wrong things and the wrong consequences of their life. So this is the judgment I am talking about, not judgmental. Judgmental is wrong, and it is very dangerous also. So if you're saying that you should not judge others, then by that logic, if you are appreciating someone, that is also judgment. That is also involves judgment. But the problem here is, no one will ask questions like, if you appreciate someone, they will not ask, oh, thank you. They will not say that, oh, why you are judging me, why are you encouraging me, why are you appreciating me. They will say, thank you. But when you say that they are wrong, then definitely suddenly will they say, who are you to judge me? So in both the cases, the judgment is involved, but they will only ask in the negative sense. So that is the problem with this statements. And finally, when there are no objective truths, this is also a self-contradictory statement. As I already said, is that an objective truth? Because in many areas we expect truth, we accept objective truth, but when it comes to religion and ethics, we just back off and say that, oh, no, all religions are same, or something like, or religion different. But the truth is, all religions differ in their core beliefs. For example, Buddha says that there is no need for God. It's like an agnostic kind of statement. But when Hinduism says the true Hinduism, not the Hinduism that prevails in Tamil Nadu, the North Indian, and that Hindu religion says that attaining the state of God. So there is a difference. But Christianity says that there is no attaining the self of God. We have to engage with God. That's the difference between these two. So there are lots of if you say lots of also different core beliefs, and like God and salvation. That's very important in religion, because that will affect our ethical systems and how we decide our right and wrong, and how this two, the difference in religion, the difference in God, and difference in salvation, the three affects our way of thinking of morality. That's why I'm quoting this, there are big differences. And if you say that every religion, if you say that if because many exclusive religions are there are many religions that are exclusive, like Christianity and other Islam and other religions. Many will critique Christianity for this reason only, because Christianity is so exclusive. They just say that there is only one way to God. But what do you say to Buddha, who said that there is no God? So we cannot say like that every religion is, if you go by that logic, then every religion is arrogant and exclusive. Because if you say that all religions are true, they are, because or there are many ways to God, you are automatically implying that the only pluralistic religions are true, and exclusive and the religions that are exclusive is wrong. So automatically you are also becoming arrogant and selfish. So we cannot avoid this. So instead of arguing like this, we have to find truth in religion and all. So the second thing is, third thing is, human beings are the cause of war, not religion. Many people will say that, oh no, I don't believe in religion because religion is the cause of war. But that is not an irrational reason. That is not a rational reason at all. Because if you go by that logic, then you have to reject science also, because many people are using the technologies and abusing the technologies, and they are destroying many people's life because of science, because science invented many technologies. Then why are not rejecting science? So the problem here is the human beings are the one cause abusing and religion, not the religion itself. So this is not a proper and rational reason to reject Christian religion at all. So the final thing is creating God in our image. Like nowadays there are lots of popularity among the new age spirituality and spiritual races. Many reject nowadays no religion, but I reject religion, but I don't reject spirituality. I follow spirituality, but I reject religion. If you carefully observe here, religion is not an they are not referring to religion as a superstitious beliefs. They are referring to religion as morality, the morality and such. Because if the ethics, the moral, there is no objective morality. If you say that everyone creates their own morality, then you if you then you have to ready to give this privilege to a thief. Because if you find any burglar or any person who robs your house, then you will automatically change to objective moralist and says, no, 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 what you're doing is wrong, so you cannot do this, that is not fair. Then where is that universal rule come from? Because there are many theories that tries to explain this universal rules, like social contract theory and emotive theory, like, but they are not completely and reasonably didn't give any reasons to why human beings have to be moral. Because evolutionary theories doesn't explain how we have to, because the evolutionary theory only explains the survival of the fittest, but that doesn't explain many moral rules or many moral lives we are living. So moral evolution is not account of morality. So many rejecting the morality, but they are saying it's spiritual. So this is like creating God in our image. So like that, he jolts down many postmodern self-contradictory irrational statement like this. So this is that's
Thank
it.
you, Joshua. But we are not able to see the slides. We were just able to see only a blank slide. The other slides, maybe I don't know. We were not able to see.
Sorry, sir. I'm
Would you
just
like to run them quickly for us? Right.
yeah, yes, sir. So can you see
I
now?
think it has been taken off. It's not there.
Just one second, sir.
Just 1 minute, quickly, if you can run through those slides.
Yeah, okay.
Because we can try to get at what you're trying to say.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, can you see now?
No, Joshua. That's okay. That's okay. Right? If you're not able to present, that's okay. Just want to tell you that. But thank you for giving us. Because I didn't get the name of that person whom you said, Paul. What's his next name?
Paul Coupon, sir.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Joshua. It is again a deconstructive reading. So
yes,
thank you for that. And the next set, the last 4 of you who are going to present in the next class, be ready. After that, I have some poems to complete. So in case I'm done with the poems, then maybe probably I'll stop the recording here.